boom, boom, newsletters flying towards you. Boom, boom, globe rotating past you. Boom, boom, me, boom, 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 boom. Good evening. Tonight in the side stream media, football hooligans all over the world had an extremely tough year. A group especially hard hit by the COVID pandemic. They have not only seen many of their matches cancelled or sometimes played in stadiums so empty it makes the heart of Dominic Cummings look full, fuzzy and warm. However, also social distancing measures have further complicated their weekly brawls. 1.5 meter distance left many football hooligans with no other option than resort to the pike. But to add insult to insufficient injury, many football hooligans have watched with envy as a series of violent brawls broke out in the Himalaya. Specifically the Ladakh region, a region on the border between India and China, nestled between Kashmir and Tibet. And I thought my neighborhood was trouble, huh? Sorry. Last summer, the number 2 and the number 3 of the biggest military expenditure list came to blows in the Himalayan region using fists and clubs. It's been a conflict so high up and so violent that it can only be described as Lil Wayne on codeine. China and India have been at odds in the region ever since Britain partook in the timeless British tradition of drawing lines on a map in such a way that ultimate chaos, conflict and pandemonium ensues. A tradition as British as fish and chips, being drunk at 5:30 and repressing the lower classes. Yes, Britain, Europe is truly lost without you. Truly. Excuse me. The two military giants and nuclear powers have been part of a gentleman's agreement not to use firearms on their border. This led to a peculiar incident in 2017 when Chinese troops tried to build a road in Bhutan, or an area that Bhutan at least considers to be Bhutan. India came to help the tiny mountain country, and Chinese and Indian soldiers started to throw rocks at each other. It has been rumored that the Palestinian authorities deemed this a copyright violation. However, the brawl this summer left 20 Indian troops and an unknown number of Chinese troops for dead, causing the tensions between the two countries to rise to truly Himalayan heights. And if you don't like that joke, please blame Brian. Nonetheless, ever since the brawl, the two countries have been in talks trying to defuse the situation. So far, however, these talks are best described as trying to negotiate with a 4-year-old who doesn't want to clean his room. Or alternatively, you could describe them as the US Congress. But recently, this conflict came back into the news as both countries seem to be withdrawing troops from the border. Some have been hopeful and have been seeing this as a de-escalatory move. However, it seems that this might be a little far from the truth. It might not be a matter of de-escalation, but a matter of weather. The weather has been so inhospitable and so cold that it has turned this war cold into a cold war. Again, Brian. Showing us all that if Mother Nature really wants us all to heal, she doesn't need a COVID pandemic. All she needs to do is dial up or down the climate control. What? She's doing that? Climate change? I thought we were doing the climate change. I think you're just being flippant, Brian. In any case, football hooligans had a rough year. So, in the light stream media, a pigeon flew all the way from the US to Australia. Australia, of course, a land that has a spider literally called the Australian bird-eating spider, an eagle that devours kangaroos, and a widespread epidemic of Australians. However, this pigeon thought that it would still have a better life in Australia than in the United States of America at this particular moment in time. Outrage ensued as the Australians announced that they would kill the pigeon. However, we at the Sidestream Media would like to congratulate Australia with their exemplary consistency in their refugee policy, only treating a pigeon slightly worse than they would do a regular refugee. However, in America, outrage ensued to great heights, showing the rest of the world that many people care more about a pigeon from Oregon than a refugee kid from Myanmar. This was the Sidestream Media for tonight. Good night and crikey. Boom, 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 like, boom, boom, comment, boom. Why do I have to do this? What did the algorithm ever do for me?